everything that I brought home. I'm drying out the brushes that I cleaned there, and I got my surface here that I like to walk while I'm working, and my coffee. So I'm gonna get started to unpack this stuff. I can't believe I made it to the bottom of the pile. Basically in my piles, as I do things, I just kind of, to get everything off the table where I work, I just kind of put it all over here. And I just went through briefly to see what I have. This thing I have here are the papers left from my palette. Papers that are in there and they're dry, and I make them into what I call paint confetti. Paint confetti? Confetti? Confetti. So when I make the paint confetti, I put it in little poles and it makes me happy. I painted with a friend, more about that later. Messy, colorful stuff. Love to save these because look inside this envelope. Look. So pretty. Thing that happened at my class. Wait, hold on. Piece of tracing paper. And I told them, please wipe your brushes off before you rinse your brush off, and we put that into the work sink there because we try to keep as much paint out of the sink as we can. So this is where they wiped their brushes. Now there were 7 of them and I got 3 papers, so we're getting there. This one close up. See a lot of stuff going on. I took a class with Louise Fletcher. Look her up. Awesome teacher. Great abstract artist. And then some more of the paintings that I did. And then I did it with my granddaughters. And after they did it, they went back to painting cactuses and flowers. Are you seeing things? Stacks of stones. Now this was years ago. But these are cool. Don't you think? Look at it. I like them. So I might just frame these, if I ever get to it, and hang them in here. Wouldn't that be great? Or I could hang them in my RV. I don't have a lot of wall space in there, so George saw one little painting and he said, some of these could go in our RV when we go. And I'm like, yeah. Because I'm thinking this small. A couple of encaustics one year. Here's one of them. See how it never got framed? Because I did it once and never went back to it. But I should, because it was fun. And now that I've taken this class with Louise Fletcher and got loosened up, this might be something that would be fun to address again. Painting of a sea urchin on Yupo with watercolor. Okay, here's those papers that the ladies did. It goes back in my bag. And the reason I'm putting things back in my bag is because I'm teaching the same class again on this upcoming weekend. You know what I mean? The one job that I still have to do is take all of the papers that the ladies used in the first class and put them back into the little bins, little bunches of colors. There's like the oranges and yellows, the purples and pinks, yellows and greens. Wait, these are greens, just greens. So what I do is pass these around in the class and they pull out what they want. Of course, I didn't explain that really good the last time that I did this. And so I learned that the next time I am going to say, as you pass these packs around, please take 1 or 2 of each of the packs, and then you will end up with a variety of colors to use. Last time I just said, okay, I pass these around and take 1 or 2. And the poor people were like, take 1 or 2 what? Packs? Choose what colors you like. Okay, so one lady took the whole pack apart because I didn't explain it right. So I learned how to explain it. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I do better next time. So now what I'm going to do is just rearrange all of these so that they fit back into these packs. These are the leftovers from my first class. So this way, my second class, which is bigger, will have more papers. You know, I'm thinking it really doesn't matter what colors are in each pack because I watched them and they just pack them around, pass them around, pack them around, and take a few. So I'm not going to be overstressed. I'll get like the approximate colors because some of them are like mixed colors. And just to give you an idea of what they're going to do with all these papers, they put them on a board. Rip, which is so satisfying to me. I love to rip. It's just fun. And then they're going to cover it with some gesso or white paint so they show through. You would be surprised how hard this is to do for some people. So how much gesso? Should it be thick? Should it be thin? So it taught me to tell them to do a white wash and to make it like milk. It's very important as a teacher that you explain things fully. People do not just pick it up because they're not artists. I mean, it might be one or two, but most people are taking classes where I live because they want to have fun. Fun. So it's my responsibility to teach them step by step. I used to be a preschool teacher. I love teaching children and older adults. They're kind of alike. I can say that because I am one. This is purple, and I'm going to take the purple ones and I'm going to put them right in here with my purples. Just open up my big clip. Is that an alligator quip? I don't remember what it's called, but it's big enough to hold my papers tightly. So there's the purples. Now I'll take the green pack, right? Open that up and add my greens. Or are those yellows? Oh, I think I'll add, yeah, these, okay? The smaller pieces I put aside, and I'll probably just throw those in this plastic bag and then I'll, you know. I'm done. Now for some fun. Although that was fun too. And the great thing about it is that when I do that, then I have them organized for myself. So what should we do next? I took off my glasses because there's like this annoying glare. So if I'm not looking directly at you, it's because I can't see you. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to work on this little painting that I started, and it's using kind of the same approach as what the girls did in the class yesterday. I went a little bit further, which I tend to do. And if you don't try things, how are you ever going to learn anything? I think experience is a really good teacher. So here's that painting. And I'm going to continue to work on this. It's tiny. It is, I believe, 5 by 5. Let me just measure it. No, of course not. It's 6 by 6, silly. So this is that painting, and I'm going to work on it. It was papers underneath. You can see them here, strips of paper, and you can see the texture. And then instead of the different fibers that I gave them to use, this is my sample I was working on yesterday. These are just eyelash trim. And instead of, oh, and this is also some cheesecloth. But instead of using the eyelash trim, I decided I would try twine. And as soon as I put it on here, it started to take on this southwestern kind of look. And in my papers, I actually found a paper where I had made these diamond shapes, probably with a stencil of some kind on my jelly plate. And if you don't know what a jelly plate is, there are lots of videos on YouTube about jelly plate making, printing. It's a mono printing technique. In fact, that's how I got a lot of these papers, by the way, that I went through and organized. So this is just the papers and then some paint. I wanted to show you my palette before we get started, which is not an expensive palette. And I didn't get this idea myself. I got this from Louise Fletcher, who got it from somebody else. I think it was Nicholas Wilton on Art for Life or Art to Life. Something like that. So all it is it's a stay wet palette, and you can spend big money on those already made stay wet palettes. But this is, you know, if you don't want to spend a ton of money and you treat it like I do, or you treat it like garbage, this is an easy, inexpensive one. What it is 2 trays I got from the dollar store, okay? And then a piece of parchment underneath. Woo! This is how wet that is from yesterday. That didn't dry. But it's gonna make really nice pink confetti when I'm done. Paper towels layered in the bottom and saturated with plain old water. Drip off the excess water. Put your parchment paper on top. and that will keep it moist. I bought two not thinking of using it as a cover, but I ended up using it as a cover, which kind of, I guess, helps. And then when I take it anywhere, I just put a big rubber band around it. And I'm set to go. So I have a box of parchment paper, or two, because I do bake also. And then, who doesn't have paper towels? In fact, once when I didn't have paper towels, I just used paper napkins. It worked just as well. So see, it'll stay wet. And then if you want to be really sloppy, you can mix paint in this one. Some water. I like to keep water in a spray bottle also. Any bottle will do. And then my brushes. Just a little angled brush. I don't usually use little brushes a lot anymore, but for what I want to do here, I think the angled brush would work really well. Now, here's the painting. So what I want to do is just kind of blend in these little bits of paper back here. But you know, I'm not going to go crazy trying to fit it and make every little thing perfect, because the way I like to work is in layers and use a lot of what ifs. All right, so I'm just going to take some blue, phthalo blue, and a little bit of burnt sienna, and see, oh no, that doesn't work. Let me just wipe it off with my finger. I think what I need is something lighter. All right, so let's try some of this yellow. It's a very bright yellow, so I want it to go back into the background. I add a little bit of burnt sienna and just kind of brush it back here. Change the color a little bit back there. Or I could just go over the whole thing. You know what happens when you do that? You're kind of pushing it into the background. Let's see what happens with that. Okay, so then I can take a paper towel. Where are you, baby dolls? All right. Or baby wipe. I can just bring these guys forward a little bit more. I like the back one there. Yeah, I like that one way back. That looks good. Really pushes it back. Just some water. Bring those forward again. Great. Okay, so we did push back that one. And so that's the background. I want that a little bit more pushed back. So I'm just going to put a layer of whitish, dirty white from my palette. Yeah, see how it pulls it back? Ooh, I love it. I'm just going to dab the top off a little bit up here for some texture. Here too. I've known to go overboard with that, but it's fun. Okay, and then over here with the those could be whatever. I thought they would look like cactus, so I'm thinking maybe I'll put a little green on them, make them cactusy. That looks a little bit too bright, so I'll just add a little bit of blue, make them a little less standout-ish. And I like to tap off a lot of the paint. I don't know, maybe that back one, I'll just make him washed out too. Push him back. He's so cute. They're all so cute. Okay, so we are pushing our stuff to the back. I like it. I like it a lot. Then stand out a little more. There. Okay, now the middle ground is, like I said, this is where the artist would be, the person looking at the painting would be standing, or the artist is standing right here. So this is close to us. So we're going to have nice colors here. This is probably more like, I guess, like water. So I'm going to put some more green here to make it look more gardeny on this side. Maybe there's some grasses. These are grasses. I'll make them green. Yeah, I'm not so sure I like this green over here. I can just spray that off and take it away. And just blot this one. Okay, so let's look at that now. And it's important to look at your work from far away too. It'll surprise you sometimes. It'll shock you sometimes. It'll make you think, whoa, I did that? That's really cool. So I like these lines. I do. I like them. I love what happened right here. This I just adore, this piece of paper here. So it's become precious to me. But things shouldn't really become too precious until you're at the point where you're like, okay, I'm almost done. So I'm gonna put some, yeah, don't be afraid to cover things up and try things. Let's try putting some brown there, make it a little darker. Ooh. No. And then even under this one, a little bit of brown, maybe a little pink there too, since this is pinky here. Ooh. That's the middle ground. Okay, that's kind of far away. And I love that you can still see the papers, and you know, that's just so much fun. A little bit of bluish in here. What if we try that? What do you think? What if we do that? It's definitely brighter. I kind of like it, but I think it needs some orange, and I'm out of red. Pyro red light. Yeah, we'll use that. Well, we're gonna have this handy tool that my father got from a place called Automatic Comfort in Hartford, Connecticut. 7 numbers in the phone number, which here now we use like 10. So you know this is old, but it grabs the top of things. Come on, it's like a vice. It's like a vice grip. It's so great. It's so old, I love it. So here's some Pyro red. Ooh, we will mix that with some of the orangey yellow. There is a cool yellow in here, so let's try that. This is, I think it's like a lemon yellow or something like that. So here's the orange, and that's the orange that's up there. So I really want to put some orange in here. So cool. So cool. Okay, so this will carry my eye through here. Maybe a stroke of a little bit of orange up in the sky. Make it look really Arizona-ish. Arizona-ish. And some water drip. Drip, 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 drip. Drip, 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 drip. And when you do that, you're bringing out the textures in the sky. Texture. I'm not really happy with this over here. I think it looks kind of goofy. It's just kind of wet that, clean it out. And we're bringing back, what that is just some of those twine threads. So I'm going to take some burnt umber. Let's see if I should mix that with something. Just want a nice rich brown. Yeah. Oh, that's kind of pretty. Let's wet it and let it drip off. And now it's got that same earthy tone. I'm liking it better. See, when I blot, it takes away some of the paint, and then you can really see what's underneath. That's yellow. It's really bright. Ooh. Keep going back to that blue and green in that plant. I don't know why. That's really bugging me. Let's put some blue in there. No, not that color. Blue. Phthalo blue. Okay. Phthalo blue. Some phthalo blue in there. You know, try things. What if, right? What if we change that? What if we make it a different pattern or a different color? I'm very tempted to just pull this off, so I think I'm going to. I'm just pulling off the, okay, I'm gonna put this aside and let it dry. I think I'm done for today, and that's the good thing when you're working on something. If you feel like, you know, you are getting frustrated or making mud, just stop and put it aside. So I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Bye.